Well, hello everybody. Thanks for joining me. It's Holger Mueller from Constellation Research. The lower third, unfortunately, it's still broken. Nothing I can do about that. You can follow me on Twitter at HolgerMU. That is HOLGERMU. And I'm here to talk about Workday Rising, which finished last week in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. Biggest rising ever, 11,000 attendees. Biggest event I've seen Workday pulling off so far. Always good to see the growth of vendors, seeing the growth of the ecosystem, much more exhibitors, much more partners sponsoring. So it's always good to see, and it always gives the conference a positive and good vibe. What were the main statements highlighted in the product keynote and the innovation keynote? Workday has this long ongoing love story with business intelligence analytics. Back in 2013, it announced the Big Data Analytics Cloud. The next year after, the whole roadmap was 6 analytical applications. Then the company acquired a company called Identify, talked about ontologies and the importance for skills and so on. And now we're here in 2018, almost 5 years, well, 5 years later, pretty much. And Workday is finally, hopefully, getting to the last chapter of this part. A little bit concerned that during the keynote, there were different names from prediction machines to analytics to other parts describing the same thing. But let's hope for customers where it's very important to get value out of your HCM systems that Workday has the winning formula now. I'll talk about the concerns a little bit later, but the key announcements were Workday Planning, workforce planning capabilities built on the new acquisition of, that's what happens when you do Vidas 11 p.m. The last acquisition CEO was on stage, and this is live, Adaptive Insights. Sorry about that. Adaptive Insights, take it with a grain of salt, might have messed this one up. And then the Skills Cloud on the HCM side, which used exactly those ontologies I talked about before, where Workday acquired assets from Identified. If they're still being used, I don't know. But very hard to get all this information together. Little bit disappointing from an overall HCM innovation from my perspective. Skills obviously important, but you will not even win a skirmish nor battle and not the war with getting skills right, which is agreed important in the know-how economy, and companies struggle with this, and the Workday really solve this. This is going to be an asset for their customers, but I would have hoped for some more broader HCM announcements. Very positive on the third takeaway, the PaaS capabilities, as Workday has announced, build capability is there, an app generator is there, high-level, low-code capability to build applications. PaaS is very important these days for all the SaaS vendors out there, because we live in the area of business process uncertainty, which I mean with that SaaS vendors don't know how companies will run their business 21st century. They build it as best to their knowledge, but then there's things which have to be built around the corners, around the edges, and that's where PaaS is really important for. So it's good to see Workday's PaaS progressing, becoming a build PaaS, a standalone PaaS, where companies, ISVs can build their standalone applications on top of the overall Workday framework. So overall, my POV, I mean, Workday keeps trying to get the value out of the existing systems right. The AI component is very interesting. It's a little hard to do if you haven't moved to the public cloud, because the public cloud gives you the capabilities of very cheap compute, which is very hard to pay for and have a way around idling on-premise traditional deployments as the usual traditional Workday deployments are done. But encouraging news coming out of not Toronto, but Montreal, close, where Workday is moving their technology stack to AWS. But that's something to keep an eye on from a customer perspective. What will all these AI, ML, machine learning cost me? Good progress on PaaS, as I mentioned, probably the biggest, best positive news, which customers may not see right away, but in the longer run, it's pretty much impactful, because when you run into this area of all SaaS vendors, I need to do something else, and I can do it on the same platform, with the same last sign-on, the same security concepts, with the same look and feel that the rest of applications where my users, my employees are. That's very valuable. All right, this was Holger Mueller with my takeaways from Workday Rising 2018 in Las Vegas. Follow me on Twitter at HolgerMU. That's HOLGERMU. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.